of almost all models of household appliances, which means even when your current household appliances are not connected to the internet, you can still use this voice box Pro to control this. For instance, a reconditioner, air conditioning. Okay, now this is the biggest moment. What kind of improvement have there been? Is that interesting? Is that fun to have? A boy's voice, a male voice. I asked the designer, why do we need this? Well, they said because when it comes, we don't just have a female assistant, but also male assistant. This is about gender equality. I've also been told by girls, when I talk to Xiaoai, when I talk to girls, if I am talking to a girl, it feels a little awkward, and I guess it might be more interesting if I were able to talk to a boy. So here it is. And this is already the 3.0 version, and with this version you were able to engage with him continuously and very naturally. What do I mean by that? In the past, every time you start a command, you will have to start with MIUI, MIUI, MIUI. That is repetitive, that is boring, but now you don't need to repeat it every single time. And you can cut the conversation short anytime you want. For instance, this is an example to order McDonald's with MIUI. It has a lot of uses. For instance, it can answer the phone call.
基础已接听，正通过小爱智能助手和你通话，有什么事？你说。
快递到了，家里有人吗？
不在家，你给我放在收点吧。
好的，再见。
好玩吗？
Interesting or funny? If the function is further improved, it is able to answer the phone call for you. And also, my colleague prepared a complete video clip to introduce MIUI 3.0. Let's have a look at it. MIUI is really naughty. So that is Mi 9 Pro. What highlights does it have? It has a Snapdragon 855 Plus VC cooling, liquid cooling, 12 GB RAM, and 512 GB ROM. 4,000 mAh triple fast charge system and a super large horizontal linear motor, AMOLED, it is a very light and thin 5G flagship smartphone. In addition, we give the consumer 1 year of free use of 1 TB of Mi cloud capacity, liquid cooling, 12 GB RAM, and it is really informative. So we offer all the key points here, and you can take pictures, and you can read them carefully afterwards. Horizontal linear motor, AMOLED. That is also the most tricky issue for me. Actually, I don't know. In addition, actually, there have been a lot of people hacking Xiaomi online. They said that the price of Xiaomi 5G smartphone will be the same as 4G smartphone of Xiaomi. I think it doesn't make sense. Maybe you don't know the price of 5G smartphones of other mobile phone makers. After the independence of Redmi or spin-off Redmi business from the head office, we have been working on the high-end market, but still we provide products at a friendly price. But we will not be stuck in the price comparison or competition. The 5G technology has just started. R&D cost is really high, and the 5G module cost is 1,000 higher than 4G. Just a 5G module. So it is impossible to sell a 5G smartphone at the price of a 4G smartphone if you do not suffer from losses. But if you engage in such a price war to suffer from the losses, it will not be sustainable for the company. Mi 9 Pro has new functions over Mi 9 and also has this 5G module. So let's look at the price of Mi 9. On the Xiaomi online store, the price is 2,799. And also, Mi 9 has some new functions here. So what is the price? To be honest, we want to price it at 3,999, but many people criticized us. And I have been thinking that it is possible for us to provide the price as they said, but still we want to give people a chance to experience 5G smartphone as early as possible. So indeed, but still it is impossible to price it as the level of 4G smartphone. But still we have made a lot of efforts. 3,699 yuan. I believe, I'm sure, this price shows how sincere we are. And more importantly, 5G has just started. Many people have not experienced the functionalities of 5G smartphone. That we just launched this very first 5G Mi phone. We really want more people to appreciate the charm of 5G mobile phone, and we provide 4 versions with different storage. 8 GB and 12 GB. And the prices are here. You can take photos. I recommend these 2 versions. One is 8 GB and 256, and 12 GB plus 512 GB. So compared to the 4G version of Mi 9, the 8 GB plus 256 GB is only 600 yuan higher. And the 12 GB plus 512 GB, the price 3 days later or on Friday, it is on sale on all channels. Many thanks to the 3 major operators. And if you buy Mi 9 Pro, you can apply for free data up to 100 gigabytes. Mi 9 Pro features not only 5G and top configurations. When we talked about hardware, we focus too much on that. But apart from it, we also have this MIUI. How powerful is it? I would like to give you Jin Fan, the leader of MIUI. All the information here on the products, parameters, and system is only for the Chinese market only. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and also those audience who are watching the live stream. Good afternoon. Just now on Weibo, some people said that they have been waiting for a very long time to watch this live stream. I also have my Weibo account. I have a lot of interactions with other Weibo users. My fan base has just exceeded 70,000. To some extent, I'm still a newbie on Weibo. I have participated in the R&D and design of all generations of Mi phones. So it's my great pleasure to introduce you the latest version of MIUI. MIUI team is very powerful in R&D. In the past 9 years, we have released 10 versions, and we have developed from the skewer morphism stage to the modern designing stage. Actually, the designing of MIUI is very consistent. In each stage, we have been living up to the highest standards. That is very rare in the designing community in China. Now let's look at MIUI 1 to 5 when we were still in the skewer morphism stage. In that stage, our job is to make people get familiar with the operational system of mobile phones. For instance, when you have conversation with the nature, when you are thirsty, you will ask for a cup of water from a stranger. You may say that, "Hi, I'm really thirsty. Would you please give me a cup of water?" That person might say, "Yes, no problem." But when you are familiar with that person, how would you say that to your friend? You would say that, "Give me a cup of water," and he would say, "Here you are." And if you are talking to your families or really good friends, you would say water, and he would say, "Here you are." So in the stage of modern designing, the interface designing aims to make conversations more efficient, just like what I described before. So starting from MIUI 6 all the way to MIUI 10, we have been doing so. So in MIUI 11, we have taken a step further to remove all the visual clutters that exist in MIUI 10 and only keep the core information, making this interface very modern, graceful, and efficient. And you can get focused on the core content on each page. And also we are very careful with color. We removed the sharp colors, and all the colors remaining will shift your attention to the content. So all the colors will make you focus on the key content and the messages here, and also very graceful. And also there are some legacy from the PC era. For instance, the slide bar on the screen, it imitates the function of mouse. For instance, you can click the things as you wish with the mouse. And on MIUI, there are a lot of control buttons or bars, and it has very good haptic experience when you touch these bars or buttons. Actually, this MIUI 11 has taken our success from MIUI 1 to 5 to a new height. All the interfaces are very exquisite, simple, and efficient. And in the dark mode, it is also very graceful as well, as graceful as a piece of artwork. Now, let's look at font designing. Actually, MIUI is one of the first interface systems in China that provides customized font system. And many other companies have followed the step of MIUI because customized font can increase the reading experience. So in MIUI 11, we provide Milan Pro. And in Milan Pro, we further optimize the font of Chinese characters to make the Chinese characters more beautiful, graceful. When you read them, you feel more comfortable and pleasant. And also, we add a new functionality that is to redesign the font of Western languages and numbers. So in MIUI 11, all the English letters are also shown in a very graceful way. And also the mixed arrangement of Chinese letters and English letters, we also did something to optimize this mixed arrange to make it very pleased to read. Is that enough? On Weibo, many Weibo users tell us that we want have some thick letters or thick font. In iOS, the solution is that iOS has a switch. You can switch it on to change the text into the bold-faced. But this switch only provides two options. That is not enough. But what MIUI provides, at the very beginning, we think we might provide three options, but that is also not enough. So we just decided to increase the number of options to 5, and then we started to think about that. Why do we make it remove all the limitations?
In other words, in MIUI, when it comes to adjusting the level of boldness of your font, there's limitless possibility. You can always find a font, the boldness that suits you the best. But then we found another problem. When you have the ability to bold up the letter as much as you want, sometimes it's not really comfortable to look at. So with MIUI 11, we provide a smart element that can adjust the level of boldness depending on the type of text it is applied to, which means with the titles, the content, the subtitles, the level of boldness with all these is all very different. And with that, we take the level of interaction to the whole different level. Take, for instance, for the very first time, you can see the boldness can be used in a dynamic manner. For instance, when you try to dial, and then when you press it, it boldens up, and then it becomes thinner. Such experience was almost unprecedented. For instance, this is how you set the alarm, how you set the clock, and because we paid so much attention to details, this ability to adjust the font weight automatically has won us the 2019 Red Dot Award. And I would also like to add, this is for the very first time for a company from the cell phone business to receive award in the world of design, and that speaks to our design capability. And now let's run a video for you.
所以这是
Such is MIUI 11, the first ever automatic adjustment of a font weight, the first of its kind in the world. And now about ambient display, you already know this very well. Another associate term here is AOD. Thanks to the recent development of AMOLED, we are able to display basic information on such a display, but because of our desire to constant innovation, we are trying also to add something new here. For instance, the dynamic font display of weather information. But I mean, this has already been achieved, but we do not think that it's enough, because in MIUI 11 we would like to introduce elements of animation. Take for instance, this is a flower, and this is how it blossoms in animated watch on ambient display. As a team with powerful ability to design, we make it happen because of our careful innovation, our attention to details. Take for instance, this spiral shape. We came up with this design because we drew inspiration from the arrangement by which the plant, the leaves grow, and then we introduce that element on the ambient display, turning the display into an art piece. And in the experience, then there are more patterns. So I encourage all of you to explore all those possibilities. And another thing, I don't know how many of you are big fans of a very interesting cell phone cases. A lot of those are available on Taobao, but the problem is, I understand all the text here are very interesting, but most of them are displayed on the back. But now we want to turn it on the front display. And now, with our ambient display, for the very first time, you get to display all such information on the front of your cell phone. But be careful, this can be very toxic, this can be very addictive, because now the truth is a lot of our colleagues they're designing their own ambient display. For instance, one of my colleagues, Wei, do you know what he displayed on here? He said, finding a way to live, finding a way to survive. And another engineer from our department, what he said produces, what he put here on the display is code. While I think this is not just interesting, but almost encryptic, almost a sort of a secret language between different engineers. The point here is, whatever the message you want to send out, you can write them on your ambient display. For instance, you are the owner of a gold mine. Such is the creation. This text is the creation of Mr. Lei Jun. And now, the lamp. The lamp that blips at the corner of the film. It used to be a very interesting feature, but I mean, that was in the past, because now the truth is you don't really see this lamp anywhere with a modern design, because everybody wants to go for the very thin edge with no frame, which means that now there is no room for such lamp. But now we bring it back to life. For instance, this is how it looks like. The lamps on, the lamps off, with different visual effect. It looks like almost a starry night. Very cool, very interesting, very visually powerful, especially in the dark. So now you can almost feel this how the screen is breathing, and when you switch the AOD off, it's equally visually powerful. This is what it looks like. So I strongly recommend you to use it because that is really very interesting. So in MIUI 11 we did a lot to improve its performance, and let me show you what we did with a video. This is what we call the ambient display of the MIUI 11, almost an art piece. This is what we call the ambient display, the kaleidoscope. And now moving on to sound. So please be quiet because we've got a lot of audio effect coming up. But before that, a little bit of background information, how the sound system of the cell phone has evolved over the years. When it first started, it's the monotone ringtone. It's a monotone, almost nostalgic of our childhood. And later on, it turned into chord ringtone. Sounds familiar? And then stereo, and then some very familiar melodies. So the sound
就是声音在不断。
So the sound system on the cell phone has come on such a long way, and this is the latest development. So as you can see, with the top hardware, is the vibration. With the top hardware, all we can sense is the vibration. Good hardware. This is almost awkward because with all the good hardware, what we're able to hear is vibration. This is not really very difficult to understand because there are so many distractions and choices that most of the people decided to go with vibration. So starting from last year, we started a project that sought to bring those lovely sound back. So we sampled the sound from water drop, the sound, the wood, and we mixed them together. We introduced them into the MIUI 10, which was very well responded to by the users. So by building upon it, we were able to present a dynamic, natural sound system, which starts with alarm in the morning. Think about it. Imagine what it feels like if you're awakened by such an alarm. Anxious. You feel annoying, isn't it? Anxious, but you feel that I have to get up. But not in a very pleasant way. So we try to wake you up in a way that is more comfortable, more pleasant, and here's what it sounds like. We incorporated the sounds of the natural world into the melody, but we also paid a lot of attention to details, how loud it sounds, its a melody, because we want to wake you up in a way that is comfortable to you. But of course, if you are not awakened up in the first 10 minutes, and when it's when the alarm goes off again, it'll sound a lot stronger, like this. So this is the alarm by default at the MIUI 11 with several different elements throughout the week. So let's try another piece. This is with the element of fire. This is the intensified version. This is the intensified version. So this dynamic alarm incorporates all the natural elements because we want you to up in a way that is pleasant and comfortable to you. If you want to improve the quality of life, the first thing you need to do is to change your alarm to something more pleasant. And now about the sound of notification. Oftentimes we decided to switch the sound off because the sound of notification is not pleasant to listen to, so we change it into the sound of a water drop. In fact, there are other pleasant sounds in the natural world, so much more than just a water drop. For instance, bird chirping when we are at a cafeteria or when we are in the park, we hear the bird chirping, and when the night falls, when we come back home, or when we are sitting by the window, we can also hear the chirps of insects. What if we are able to incorporate all those sounds into our cell phone? In MIUI 11, the sound of a notification. In MIUI 11, the sound of a notification has been turned into bird chirping. And in such a the sound of insects, the sound of the natural world, and in such a dynamic way.
We give it a name, birds and fireflies. We turn the notification into the disturbing of birds and insects to make the notification less disturbing. And also there are different sounds played at different times of the day. You will not be disturbed. So you will not be disturbed by the chirp of bird at night. Delicate system, and so many details in this delicate system, and the detail matters so much for us, and so this system has allowed us to win the 2019 Red Dot Award. Maybe it is the first, or maybe it's the second Red Dot winner from China in the mobile phone industry. So MIUI 11 provides the dynamic natural sound system. It gives you a feast on the sounds of nature. So we use the modern designing language, dynamic font system, ambient display, and the dynamic sounds of nature. That is the design of MIUI 11. Excellent color and sound. Now let's look at the functions. When it comes to functions, there is a very catchy phrase. Have you noticed the image of a city at a certain time? For instance, have you seen Beijing at 8 p.m.? At 8 a.m. That is the picture of the CRT metro station. It has been part of our daily life. For those IT elites and experts, they start their one day of work from this metro station. And the same for the CBD of Beijing. Many of the bankers and the financial professionals started their whole day of work from the busy metro station. And also at the airport, there are a lot of businessmen and professionals going on business trips, traveling to other places. Actually, there are more people. They are doing the same things in other cities across China. So how do we describe these people with the same wordings? Actually, they are the cornerstones of the societies. They are striving for the better. So that is what MIUI 11 is designed for those who are striving for the better in the society. They have been under a lot of pressure and they have been faced with a lot of challenges. And MIUI 11 hopes to alleviate your pressure in life and at work. We provided two things. First of all, Mi Work Suite, Office Suite. Let's start with a use case at office, like transferring documents. Would you please transfer the photos you have taken to me? Many people would feel puzzled because they don't know how to transfer it. They might use WeChat or QQ, but it's really a painful experience. They can only transfer 9 documents each time, and also for the receiver, it is a painful experience as well. They have to click them one by one. So in August 2019, we created this Share Alliance together with Oppo and Vivo. And in the end, MIUI 11 is capable of transferring documents across the mobile phones of different brands. So with only one click, you can transfer documents to people around you, and the transfer speed can be up to 82 MB per second. And also you can also transfer the games and apps you have installed to your friends. And also, you can transfer documents not only to mobile phones, but also to notebooks of XIAOMI. And also, you can transfer documents from XIAOMI notebook to mobile phone. And also, you can transfer documents between Mi notebooks. So Mi Share is capable of high-speed document transfer across platforms, so that you will suffer much less when transferring documents. Now let's look at documents finding and reading. It is a disaster to manage documents on mobile phone. I'm sure that you have the similar feeling that maybe you have documents from DD, email, or WeChat, or the online storage. These documents are scattered around at all corners in your mobile phones. But with MIUI, we have this new centralized management system. You are able to find and check all the documents in one place. And also, you can check the thumbnails of all the documents here. It increases the efficiency of document checking and reading greatly. And it supports all the Android devices. And also you can read the documents just with one click without installing any applications or opening other applications. The reason is that MIUI 11 has an embedded document reader. So we support all the mainstream operations, including checking PowerPoint presentation notes and checking documents of different formats. It can meet all your needs at work. That is what we have been working together with WPS. It provides a computer-grade document reading experience. Another use case, casting. Casting is so common at office. Giving presentation has been part of their daily life of all the office workers, and you really need to prepare a presentation well to maintain successful in career. But it is also a headache for many people. Otherwise, a computer grade. Once I met a product manager who carried a 2-meter long cable line in his backpack. It is so painful. And also in 2019, there are smart TVs in almost all the meeting rooms. So why should we continue to do so? With MIUI 11, you are able to cast the presentations on the TV very easily. And also we have this demonstration mode. Mobile phone can be acting as page turner and prompter. You can also check the notes in the slides. Also, you can use the mobile phones as a laser monitor. You can add notes and remarks on the slide. All these functionalities are available on MIUI 11. You're able to demonstrate all the documents easily. Let's say goodbye to the painful experience we had in the past and embrace a new success in your career. It's just like when you have a mobile phone, you control everything in the meeting room. And also, not just a document, you can cast the content from applications like Keep, TikTok. You can share the joy of watching TikTok, and also you can cast the live stream like we have today, and also you can cast the game you are playing. Just click the button, you can cast it on the TV screen. Maybe you have some concern that what if the TV does not support casting? Actually, this functionality covers all the 300 types of TV sets produced by 40 brands. A total of 100 million TV sets in total support this functionality. And also for MiTV, even without internet connection, you can cast the content on MiTV. So MIUI 11 is such a powerful casting. It is able to do everything almost. And another thing, when we are giving a very serious presentation like today, you receive a personal message that would be embarrassing. And when you are giving the presentation, the message is shown on the screen, but it is private, it's really awkward. So we have this privacy technology. That means with this casting technology, only you are able to see this private information. It will not be shown on the screen. And also sometimes during a long meeting you might need to take a break. You can shrink the screen on your mobile phone and continue with the meeting. So it is really omnipowerful. And printing is another very common use case. There's no doubt that you can print the documents with mobile phones. But there is a minor issue that all printers have their own apps, and these different apps have different interfaces. You have to get familiar with these applications. But with MIUI 11, it is very easy to print it out. You don't have to install any applications. You can just set it up and print the documents. It covers all the over 2,000 mainstream printers of under 25 brands. So raise your career to another height. The Mi Work Office suite includes Mi Share, Super Document, casting, and wireless printing. We hope that these functions can help all these professionals to alleviate your pressure at work and be your considerate assistant. You can clap your hands first. I will be waiting for you. And MIUI Go, it is for travel. Travel is not an easy thing because we need to prepare a lot of things. So in MIUI 11, after you booking flight ticket, this travel train ticket or flight ticket, this travel assistant will be activated. All the flight or train information will be shown here, and when you click it, the detailed information will be visible. And also it provides other information like the destination weather forecast, and you can check the information of the destination, for instance the travel tips and interesting places. On the day of departure, you don't have to check the flight information on the big screen at the airport because all the flight information is available on your mobile phone. And also when you go overseas, you need to buy some data, cell phone data, and well, with MIUI you can buy it with one click after you arrive at the destination. Also, your friends may ask you to buy things for them over in other countries, so you can also use this to-do list function to check the things you need to do. So wherever you go, by sliding it, you can check all the tasks and the things you have to do. And also, when it comes to shopping overseas, it is, well, foreign exchange is very important, and also we can provide some information and help in case of emergency. So this functionality can be your considerate assistant while traveling. And also, when a battery is dead, you will feel extremely anxious. For instance, when you are getting out of the metro train station, your battery is dead, you might feel stressed. Normally, 5% of battery is able to work for 1 hour. But MIUI has this super battery saving function. That is to say, when you activate the battery saving mode, even you only have 5% of battery, the mobile phone can still work for 1 day. And also in some special circumstances, it can be a life-saving assistant. So in MiGo, we have this travel assistant and other suites. I really hope that this time MIUI 11 can help you to deal with the challenges in life. Life is already stressful. We hope that MIUI 11 can help you to deal with all these things in a better way. So MIUI 11 has made our life and work more efficient. It is a revolution of efficiency in some extent. Many thanks to our partners for their support and help to us. That's all we have prepared today about MIUI 11, also a summary of what we have done in the past 5 years. Efficiency revolution, but that is not the end. As MIUI 11 is so good, what is the release plan? On September 27th, the beta version will be open. And also, if you are searching the MIUI official account on WeChat, you can apply for experience this evening. And when will the stability version be released?
Because last year it took us 4 months for a more stable version. Well, the truth is, this version will be made available mid-October, and I would like to emphasize here in particular, this is probably the fastest that we have ever released such a stable version, not just at me, but also across the entire cell phone industry, because just the 2 weeks between release and official upgrade, we were able to achieve that. That is mainly because a lot of those elements have been incorporated into the beta testing, or in other words, a lot of the users, including those who are watching us online, probably you didn't realize this, but you have already participated in our internal beta testing. So thank you very much, because we wouldn't have been able to achieve something this extraordinary without your contribution, which is why we prepared a little gift, because all your name will be included here on our official website. This will be updated momentarily. So thank you very much for all the developers. And lastly, I've got a present to all of you, not just the honorary developers. In fact, MIUI is the first one to introduce a wide range of wallpapers and scenes, but in the past the problem was we had to charge if you want to download it, because we need the financial resources to support our team. But now let me make an announcement today, and that is the MIUI theme will be made available free of charge starting from today. Of course, which means with the exception of the themes that you have to pay for any strong request from the developer themselves. Everything else will be made available free of charge. That is mean because we have decided to set aside a part of our ad revenue or product sales revenue as we use the part of that revenue to give all these back to our fans. So that basically is what I have to say. And the MIUI MIUI will be added into the Mi 9 Pro. So Mi 9 Pro plus MIUI 11 will be the best description of a perfection. So let's watch a video. By the way, all information here on the products, parameters, and the system is for the Chinese market only. Information on the international version, along with the launch date, will be made available at a later date. Please follow us on social media at Xiaomi Global for more information.
大家好。
Good afternoon. What do you think of it? MIUI 11. What do you think of it?
I've been trying it for about a
MIUI
month.
11. What do you think of it?
I've been trying it for about a month.
I believe for the truth be told, it is by far the biggest upgrade in the past 9 years. So the experience can only be described as indescribable. And now we are already 1 hour and 50 minutes into our product launch. Are you tired? Are you tired? What do you think of it? I know a lot of people are watching this online, but we still have more to come. The centerpiece of the show. So hold on for a minute. We will try to finish it within an hour, because if you think this product is really good, perhaps 1 hour is not that long. And now I would like to introduce Mix, which is an embodiment of our exploration. About 3 years ago, we introduced our first generation of a full-screen cell phone. And this cell phone, well, the question here is what kind of new technologies do we explore? First of all, we were the first to pioneer the concept of a full screen. And this is something that whose research and development started 5 years ago and released 3 years ago, and now it seems it has become the norm for smartphones. And secondly, and the aspect ratio, if it's 16 to 9, it does not really look very good. So we were wondering if it is possible to introduce an aspect ratio of 17 to 9, 18 to 9, 19 to 9, and even 20 to 9, which means we opened more windows of opportunity for users across the entire world. And I would also like to add that a pop-up camera is our proprietary technology, and not just that. The display sound technology, the ultrasound distant sensor, the ceramic material, all those, while they looked almost unbelievable just a couple of years ago, have now become reality, all thanks to us. We opened the doors of opportunities. By doing this, we pushed the boundary of technologies. Now, at the start of the 5G era, the question remains what cell phone is going to look like in the future. And now we are going to release Mix Alpha. our second concept cell phone. And when we were doing promotion on Weibo, we put up a picture. It looks like this. Do you know what it feels like to light it up? Okay. Here's what it looks like from the front. And now, once again, let's light it up. Do you want to look at it from the behind? A lot of the internet users have tapped into their ingenuity and come up with some very interesting renderings. And here it is what it looks like in reality. I'm sure none of you have seen anything like this before. So Mix Alpha is not a foldable screen. It does not come with a waterfall display, but it represents the future. What the cell phone looks like in the future. So when we place the three sides together and when we light it up, it looks like this. Magnificent, isn't it? In fact, it comes with one screen that wraps around the entire cell phone from the front to the side and all the way to the back. If we have to calculate the screen to body ratio, then it is as high as 180%. So a screen like this is called by my colleagues fondly as surround display 360. Heartwarming, isn't it? And our marketing department also prepared a video that describes to you the features of this surround display. So let's take a look. Isn't it fascinating? And this cell phone model feels like a door to the future in a dark world. It feels like a spacecraft that is to set its course into the space, but now is parked in the dark valley. It looks like a magical cube that captures the wonders of the universe in an airy desert. It's all because it glows throughout its body. It looks almost futuristic. So as you can imagine, we have invested a lot in its development, and so have we invest a lot in developing its promotional video. So let's take a look. Let's take a look.
In a world of infinite possibilities, where will your next adventure take you? Find yourself taking your own path. Perhaps you find yourself taking your own path. You choose this path, not because it will lead somewhere, but for the feeling of excitement, uncertainty, exploration. Challenge the impossible to make the future possible. Introducing Mi Mix Alpha, surround display 5G concept smartphone, delivering a true bezel-less experience with its 4D surrounding curved display. Explore a future without limits. Mi Mix Alpha, surround display 5G concept smartphone.
You're holding a magic cube in your hand. So let me show you what it looks like in reality. Okay, let me unlock it. Okay, this side is back. On the side, astonishing, isn't it? Amazing. And a whole screen wrapping around the entire cell phone. We believe this is the future of cell phone. What cell phone looks like in the future. I'll turn to this side if you want to take any photos. Okay, on its back. Thank you. Okay, to this side. And its back. The back side. In a few moments, you'll see this in the demonstration zone outside this hall. So for something this cool, it's made reality because of a lot of technologies, of which the most difficult one is the surround display. Technically speaking, this is a flexible screen that is doubly folded, but if we want to make a flexible screen into this double-sided folded structure, it's enormously difficult. And not just that, we will have to overcome a lot of other technical difficulties. I am talking about its assembling order, display layer, screen lamination. I don't really want to turn it into a tech lecture, but let me just walk you through with the basics. There are two producers that claim to have developed a screen like this. The announcement was made at the beginning of this year, but has not been put into mass production.
But surround display is even much more complicated and sophisticated. In order to have such a surround display, we need to make more extreme explorations on full screen. Apart from surround effect, we also need to solve other problems such as the top and the bottom side parts of the display, and also the earpiece and the speaker. And about 2 years ago, we used this vibration model for it, but this time we chose a new technology that is called this in-display sound system. And also the sound effect is perfect. We use this new vibration units to put it on the display, so the quality of the sound is improved a lot. And also we use this in-display sound technology to produce ultrasonic wave to detect range and distance. And also the bottom bezel is 2.15 millimeter. It is almost invisible And the most difficult thing for it is antenna. On the surround display, there is no side frame. In the previous mobile phones, we can find the side frames, and this time we don't have the side frames. There is a chamber for the antenna. We put all the antennas on this side, and we adopted this LCP integrated antenna designing. It is able to integrate 5 major frequency bands for 5G. It is really challenging, and also with a smaller chamber for antenna, we need to redesign the way of packaging. For the ordinary smartphones, there is this drive processor, and for the full screen, we put this drive processor at the bottom of this bezel, but this time we put it here, and also the side buttons. All the buttons are shown on the display, and also there are pressure-sensitive displays on the two sides, and with buttons on the two sides. It provides a very good haptic experience. And how about front camera? Another issue. Actually, in the full screen technology, the most difficult thing is how to solve the front camera issue. The four major formats of full screen technologies are the pop-up full screen, the waterfall full screen. But all these solutions are not perfect. And this time, the surround display solve this issue this way. Do we use the in-display camera or pop-up camera? Which way? To be honest, if you know surround display very well, actually you will not ask this question. You can just turn it over or turn it around. You can use the camera on the back as a front camera. So we do not need front camera at all. So many mobile phone makers are using the in-display, in-screen camera, and Xiaomi has also been working on it. We are expecting to have a technological breakthrough, but when it comes to surround display, we don't have to use such a complicated technology. You can just turn it around. So Mix Alpha is based on a series of technological explorations. All listed here, I will not elaborate on them. With this fantastic surround display, how about the interactive experience? We really have to invest a lot on that. And it works perfectly with MIUI 11, with graceful font and the great haptic feedback, just like the physical buttons. And also, when it comes to surround display, what kind of synergy will MIUI 11 and Mix Alpha create? Let's look at the notification message. The whole side is lightened up, and also when it is charged, it looks like this. Fascinating, isn't it? Because it is all display, and also when you play games, you can't imagine how impressive it is. And also when you are reading, you have content on the front, and information and reminders on the two sides. And also when you turn the display around, the backside will turn into a display. And also on the back, we have this interface. It will show the applications we usually use. For instance, when you want to find a taxi, or you want to take the high-speed train, you can find all these services on the back. And we have a video showing how what kind of experience you can get. Let's take a look. And also, how do you prevent touching by mistake? As you have displays on all sides, how do you prevent this issue? We have spent most of the time on this. Currently, the solution we have adopted is to combine multi-sensors with AI algorithm to find out at what moments you need to touch the display. We have invested a lot on that. Apart from the surround display, this concept model also features some bold endeavors on camera. The 100 million pixel count. Mix Alpha is the first mobile phone with this 108 MP camera in the world. It has crossed the boundary of the 100 million pixel count. In recent years, Xiaomi has invested heavily on camera. This year we have launched this 48 MP camera smartphone, and last month we launched the 64 MP camera smartphone, and today we launched this concept model with 108 MP camera. That means the resolution is 12,032 by 9,024. So let's have a comparison of the image taken by different cameras of different pixel counts. To have so many pixels in the image, how about the photo-sensitive component? We use this 1.33-inch ultra-large photo-sensitive component. It is several times larger than the ordinary components, and compared to the flagship smartphones of other mobile phone makers, it is thousands times bigger. So just imagine how fantastic the image taken by the camera is. How about the photo sensitivity component? We use this 13.33-inch. The image of the camera photo is based on this 1.7-inch photo sensitive component. Several times larger than the ordinary components. And this sensor is much bigger. So other mobile phone makers give you a more straightforward comparison. This is the mainstream module used on the flagship smartphones. The image module for 48 MP camera. So how does the 108 MP module look like? It is 4 times larger, based on the size 7-inch photo-sensitive. How to incorporate in the smartphone, that will be a challenge for the stacking. Let's look at the front side. The camera is this big. Apart from this 1.33-inch module and output pictures with 100 million pixel, and the macro pixel count is 1.6 millimeter. Also, it has this anti-vibration function, also SOCL Plus, and the Smart ISO. So this camera is supported by the series of technologies. Let's look at a clip about some photos taken by the camera. This is a picture we have posted on Weibo, an image of a model. We'll enlarge it twice and 4 times. 8 times. If you look at, you can see every single piece of the eyelash of the model. Well, I know that you are not giving a big enough applaud because it is not fantastic enough. And also, the hair, body hair. And more importantly, the makeup on the face is shown clearly. I was joking that not many people would tolerate their own face on this 108 million pixel camera. So this is what this camera with 108 million pixels is capable of. So many details. In order to demonstrate the charm of the camera, we worked together with Discovery to initiate the plan for finding the beauty of the world with this camera. Our photographers went to some beautiful places. Can you guess where it is? It is Hongcun village in Anhui province. It is known for its picturesque sceneries. This is what it looked like at 7 or 8 o'clock a.m. The villagers are taking water from the lake, and there are some travelers here. The gentleman there was taking the camera, and the lady was in the red dress and started their day. And let's go this way.
There's a wooden door with decouplet, antithetical coupling, which is a traditional, which is a Chinese tradition. And further down the street, there are 2 hostels. And right in front of the door, there are people fishing. It looks like a painting, but once you zoom out, you'd realize it all happens within one photo taken by this camera of 108 MP. So, as you can imagine, with this camera, you can you imagine how many details you can capture with it? Our cameraman went to Xinjiang Autonomous Region and he took a photo of a local farmer who was harvesting his crops, and as you can see in this picture, the look in his eyes, all the wrinkles, the texture of the skin, and when you zoom out, you see his posture right by the field, like millions of Chinese is working hard in order for there to be a good harvest in autumn. Our photographer also went on a trip to Mount Huangshan, and it was truly breathtaking. Misty, mountainous, with a lot of greeneries. Our photographer also paid a visit to metropolitan cities such as Shanghai, and this is the Bund, and this is in Guangzhou, the center of the city, with all the high rising skyscrapers, and this is what it looks like when the night falls. All the glimmers of the neon signs, truly beautiful. So as you can see, the photographer of ours, they went to many places, and when I looked at their works, I couldn't help but think, this is such a wonderful world, and there is so many beautiful sceneries to see. And with this set of photo album, I wish for the greater prosperity of China. As a concept cell phone, also a flagship project, it comes with an 108 MP high-resolution camera, but apart from that, it also comes with a 20 MP wide-angle camera with also great attention to details, because when you zoom in, it can capture the details in 1.5 centimeter. And apart from that, there is also a third camera which is specifically designed for taking pictures of people. It's a 12 MP, but of course it pales compared to the 108 MP high-resolution camera. And we also explored a lot of possibilities to improve the materials, because we want to make it very good. So we first tried out titanium alloy wide. The frame this time around, we use the titanium frame both on the upper and the lower side of the edge. Titanium was first used for the aerospace industry because it's very strong and also very light. It's when it comes to weight to strength ratio, it's 3 times compared to stainless steel, making it both light and strong. And on the back of this device, we also use the precision ceramic, which comes in black. So the bar you can see there, it's made of a black precision ceramic, and also because we will have to put in there 3 cameras, we will have to put a protective layer on top of it. It is made of sapphire glass. So this time around, when we strived to develop a mixed alpha, we used a lot of materials that are very, very expensive. I am talking about titanium alloy, I'm talking about the precision ceramic, and also sapphire glass. But when it comes to its configuration, I'm not going to go into details because this is truly the state of the art. Do you want me to elaborate? I don't think I want to do that. So, this project was first initiated about 2 years ago, and through it all, it took us over 1,000 people and 500 million RMB to make it a success. Overall, we explored 3 major areas. The first is the surround sound display, the second is the 100 MP pixel count, and the third is the material, which is best represented by titanium alloy. So you may want to know, why do we want to do this? Well, because we are explorers at Mix. When I say explorer, I mean someone with an appetite to chart on water, to go on uncharted journey, someone that's willing to go on a journey that no one has been there before, a long and winding road that is filled with peril, but because that is the only way to push the boundary of technology, and that is also the only way to push for technological progress. When we were doing this, we didn't really think about profitability. Rather, we would like to create something disruptive, and such is the spirit of Xiaomi, best represented by our engineers, each of whom aspires to develop something different, each of whom wants to live a great life. Xiaomi is home to a large team of great engineers. They work hard, very much like the farmer that I just showed you in Xinjiang Autonomous Region. They work very hard just for that moment of harvest in autumn. So I think that is the ethos of engineers at a Mix. And I think this is also why we started this journey to begin with. Like so many other high-tech companies, we aspire to build something big, and once we know what it is that we want, we'd work very hard, no matter how difficult the journey is, until we reach that final destination. It is within the heart of everybody at Xiaomi to build something that is state-of-the-art and to be the greatest company that ever is. And now I'd like to turn it over to engineers of Xiaomi who will explain to you what it took them to develop Mix Alpha. So let's take a look at this video.
所有的供应商的技术都不支持我们做一个这样长的这个太阳能，可能都在100万，一个最快的测试。如果没有困难，怎么保证这个屏质量可控，就对的情况下把整个技术做好？这是刚开始的。我们创新的研发了一些独特的贴合质地，把从一层的提高水平，然后把某一层的应用适当的。当这个屏幕点亮的一刹那，我们认为这个一个哇，酷！就像握着一道光在手里，整个眼睛，我握着它，保证握着全世界，就像亲眼看到了福州大爆炸一样，探索这家进入一个未知的边区，去走没有人走的路。中国的科技公司就应该有这样的使命感，我们就在这个很酷的东西、边际性的东西来满足你本对我们的期待，也满足我们在各个领域的技术的探索。讲你永远要做你本心中最酷的东西。我刚才看了一下。
Just now, I checked my WeChat and I received a lot of congratulations from my friends. Well, thank you all very much for your recognition. In fact, developing a concept cell phone is not an easy task. Rather, it requires a lot of hard work. It takes imagination, exploration, and also a lot of money, which is also very important. In fact, over the past couple of years, Xiaomi has been increasing its investment in RMB. Last year, we spent about 5.8 billion RMB, and this year we grew it by another 40%. I expect to see this number to exceed 10 billion RMB by next year. So, ladies and gentlemen, whether you are here or not, I'd like for everybody to clap their hand in recognition of the hard work by engineers at Xiaomi. So, now we are still in the process of small-scale production of Mix Alpha. With the first generation, we didn't really try this, not at first, but when we saw it was very successful, we move on to scaled production. But now we are in the midst of small-scale trial production with Mix Alpha, and once successful, we'll try to see if we are able to start a scaled production by the end of this year. I understand that's a lot of hard work for the engineers, but we'll try to bring it to market ASAP. So in fact, prototypes have already been made available in many of our shops, so try them out if you'd like. A concept cell phone like this, because when we developed it, we didn't really thought about the hardware, the profitability or retailing it something in the marketplace. So we used the best elements. So now, if it's a small-scale production we talk about, then it was almost 20 million, but now we believe this is the fair price for a small-scale production. This is mainly for the hardcore fans. So such is the 5G. The 5G concept cell phone with a surround display. So we something that we did a lot of experiment. We tried and achieved dozens of technological breakthroughs. And now, once again, let's take a look at this rendering, which is on top of the volcano. And these are the products that we released: Xiaomi TV, Mi 9 Pro, MIUI 11, and the Mix Alpha. And now it's around 2:30 perhaps. I'm sorry, correction, 2.5 hours. It's been a very long time, so thank you all very much for being here for such a long time, and we also prepared gifts for everybody here because it is a photo printer that you can put in your pocket, and now it retails at $2.99. If it's a crowdsourcing that we're talking about, so it's very small, just the size of our power bank. So with that, I would like to conclude today's event, and I cordially invite all of you to tool around, to try out the new products, and also since you're already here, I encourage you to walk around our facility because we very much like to share our happiness with you. Thank you very much. All information here on the products, parameters, and the systems is for the Chinese market only. Information on the international version along with the launch date will be made available at a later date. Please follow us on social media at XIAOMI Global for more information.
体验区在下城广场，发布会签到处，欢迎现场来宾前往体验。